Some people have asked me, Chris, what's the big deal? Now that the social media trial is over, what next? So here's what I want to explain, because it was only a $3 million settlement, which you might go, well, that's not really a big deal. You're right, the money isn't that big of a deal. But I want to explain what this means using an illustration from Star Wars, because Star Wars makes everything make sense. So in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, the First Order was developing a plan to crush the Resistance, and they were hiding all the Star Destroyers in a hidden galaxy, Exegol. The only way to get there was by using a Sith Wayfinder. And so once the Rebellion got one of these Sith Wayfinders, they could find a way to Exegol and they could execute their plan. In other words, they needed to find a narrow path in order to get to this hidden galaxy. Now, with that in mind, that's exactly what this is all about. Now, on Wednesday night, Attorney General Torres in New Mexico was successful in a $375 million lawsuit against Meta. That's big numbers. But in the case in LA, that was just $3 million. But here's what they both have in common. They both discovered a narrow legal path, and that is state-level consumer protection law. Not related to pornography or content or anything that's on it, but it's, hey, you designed faulty products that hurt consumers in our state. That's a big deal, and it worked. So now we have thousands of other lawsuits that are just waiting, and now what they have is a path. They have a narrow path to know how to come after these companies. Here's the thing. Also in this case in LA, it was just Meta and YouTube. Both TikTok and Snapchat settled out of court. There are other cases against Snap, and I want Snap on the stand. I want Evan Spiegel on the stand. So this is hopefully going to compel them, because none of them want to incur all these damages. Hopefully this will compel them to make some design changes that do no harm to future kids, right? That's one outcome. It could be that the federal government steps in and comes up with some federal standard. That may happen too. It could be class action settlements that now come into being because we have a little bit of a legal path. Who knows? It could be that Section 230 comes down because we decide that, hey, now we figured this out. Maybe now we can go after companies who host horrible content, who profit off of child sexual abuse material. Maybe we'll no longer weaponize the First Amendment in order to say that kids have a speech right to have social media, even though it's toxic to them. Friends, these are all the things that are now on the table because we have this narrow path forward. And so this is a really big deal. It's one domino, but there are a lot of other dominoes waiting behind this that are going to hopefully help our kids going forward. So there you go. That's my take on why it's important and why Star Wars are the best movies out there. Take care.